we've already seen the kind of disintermediation of brands. So whether it's a Temu or a Shopee or an Amazon or whatever else, you've got these big shopping platforms and you've got these big communication platforms like a TikTok and a Facebook, etc., who are basically making sure that the consumer conversation is going through them to the brand. And increasingly, that means that whenever you want to sell something, you're having to pay the toll man to get to your own customers, basically, because you're shopping through a platform. They take 5%, 30% take rate, depending on what you're doing. You're advertising and talking to customers through Facebook or whatever, and they're taking another clip on it. So that world already exists. What the agentic world does, I think, is one, disintermediate them, which is in one sense not a bad thing. But actually for you as well. So in a world where you're just going to talk to your phone, and I really hope Apple get their AI stuff together and solve the problem in the iPhone, but you're just going to talk to your device. I need to do this, I need to do that. I need to book a restaurant. It will do it like your EA or PA or whatever would do it if you've got that service. They would go off and do that for you. It'll come back and ask you a few qualifying questions, clearly, but ultimately it's going to make a decision on who to book based upon your brand preferences and what you've done before and all that kind of stuff. But what that means is whatever that agent is that you're using is the interface between the customer and what you buy. And so they're not going to go to your website. They're not going to be browsing on Google 30 links and you can buy a sponsored link at the top. Clearly, advertising will come into an agentic world in a way that hopefully doesn't break the kind of the fact that it's being helpful. You don't want it to be paid to be selling you stuff you don't want. So in that sense, as brands, you're going to get even further separated from your consumer. At that level. My counter argument to that is to say, if you've got loyalty data and if you've got an app, so you're installed on a user's phone, you've got the user's behavioral data in your own world, that means that if they talk through you, you can add a lot of value to them. And so you can be the starting point for that conversation. You can be the starting point for what they buy, and it allows you to in some way influence what they're doing. And so, clearly, if I want to go in and say, hey, how do I eat a bit healthier? It's going to be able to look at your basket of shopping for the last month and go, look, this is the kind of stuff you bought. Why don't you replace this? Why don't you do that? Because it's got your shopping data. So I believe that loyalty data is an island of data that the Googles of this world and the open AIs of this world just don't have. They will try and get it, and some people will sell it, but they will try and get that data. But if you hold that data close to your chest, that's the most unique data around consumers. You can ingest the whole world's knowledge into your LLM, but you know nothing about me. And the loyalty program knows everything in a sense about me, especially if you've got card spend and grocery, you've pretty much got everything. And I think that's the power exchange that these big programs have, and it's how you retain that.